Thanks for your support as a channel member, Germat7046. After the team's best season in history, we're about to start Season 3, our final season with Haas, and we're aiming for the top 3 positions in the Constructors. Let's get Season 3 underway. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 40, I think this is, of Haas with F2 and GP2 champions only, and we're gearing up for the season opener for Season 3 in Australia. And thank you to everybody who voted on the 15 circuits that are going to be making up this season. So it's a shorter season than normal because that's basically all we can fit in before F1 Manager 24 comes out. And the day before the game releases, I'll be doing a here's what I'm doing sort of video, and we'll have some highlights of F1 Manager 23 in there as well. So let's get straight down to business. First of all, welcome, bonjour, Pierre Gasly. We seem to be just partnering Felipe Drugovich with drivers who Daniel Ricciardo likes to shout their name of really loudly. So we had Nico Hülkenberg and obviously Pierre Gasly. So yeah, Daniel Ricciardo might be our biggest fan. So these two are ready and raring to go. Here is the updated driver lineups for Season 3. So Red Bull have partnered Max Verstappen and George Russell. So that could be potentially combustious. It's still Stroll and Alonso at Aston Martin. It's Hamilton and Leclerc in 2025 at Ferrari. Game reflecting future reality there. And of course we've got Drugovich and Gasly. Clement Novalak, the reigning F2 champion, is our reserve driver. Mercedes have got an all-new lineup of Perez and not Gasly and Sainz. Sorry, I can't even read. And then at Alpine, Doohan is partnered by Yuki Tsunoda. Victor Martins has been promoted to their reserve driver. Williams have got Albon and Ocon. McLaren have still got Piastri and Norris. Logan Sargent's now their reserve. AlphaTauri have got Théo Pourchaire and Isaac Hadjar in their ranks. And at Sauber, it's Bottas and Behrman. And we had to have Oliver Behrman on the grid. We couldn't have him at Haas because he didn't win the title for it in F2, but I think it's fair to say that he's going to be on the grid as well. I've updated a few of the drivers' stats that have jumped up from F2, so so they're a little bit more competitive. Doohan and Behrman are probably a little bit too high, but that's fine. Pourchaire's had time in the Red Bull simulator. He should be ranked higher than he is. Calendar, let's have a look at that. Let's go through circuits. Now, there has been a bit of a glitch here with the calendar. Japan should have been round 3, but for some reason it's ended up way back, and I forgot to choose any sprint races, so it's just the default ones. So we're starting at Melbourne, then we go to Bahrain, Imola, Monaco, Canada, Spielberg. Silverstone's back, hooray! Spa, which is I think our first sprint week. No, Spielberg's our first sprint weekend, so I think we've got 4 sprints this year. So Spa, then Zandvoort, Monza, Singapore, Suzuka, Qatar, Brazil and Vegas. So they are the 15 rounds of 2025, and we have been beavering away, building new parts for our car. So here's where we're at. We're at a second stage of chassis. We're at a second stage of front wing. I think everything's been developed a second time, and we've got a few third developments coming in. So the underfloor, we can also probably design a few more bits and pieces, but I'll do that off screen. So basically, here's how things look for us. So if we show you Gasly's car, he has the original spec parts at the moment, and then we'll show you, obviously it'll show you the comparison to Drugovich. So you can see here we're a little bit good at the moment. We could be very, very, very fast today. Gasly, until we put all the bits and bobs on the car, not so good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and we are ready and raring to go. Would it be too much to aim for a victory in the opening round of the year? I don't know, but I think we could be in the hunt for at least a podium. And Drugovich, if you remember, finished on the podium in Vegas, so he's on form. And Gasly, let's have a look at his stats. Here we go. So he's very good at cornering, very, very good at braking. Not so good on reactions. Very good control, very good smoothness. That'll do our strategies the world of good. He's very adaptable, so in the wet, he'll be very, very strong, just as Hulkenberg was. Good at overtaking, very good at defending. So, yeah, I think we've got ourselves a very, very good driver. He's at his peak. He's 29 years old now. So, he is absolutely expected to lead the charge. And hopefully that charge takes us all the way to the podium and potential victory today in Australia. So I'm going to just sort out a few more bits and pieces here, and then I'll see you in qualifying. We've lost a car in Q2, and we actually only got through by the skin of our teeth. We've had rain throughout the session, and it said the track was dry, but there was 0.98 millimeters of water on the track still. So the game declared it dry, but actually Inters were probably still the better tyre. We actually went out on softs and only just scraped through with Pierre Gasly, although I say scraped through, we were 6/10 clear of Hadjar. Drugovich did not do a very good lap, so he's eliminated along with Charles Leclerc, who's 15th. George Russell and Sergio Perez got knocked out in Q1. So it's anybody's game, this qualifying session, and we've got 5 different cars, 6, I think. Yeah, Aston Martin are the only team to have both cars in Q3. Oliver Behrman's made it, Piastri's made it, Tsunoda's made it, Ocon's made it, Stroll's topping the standings. I mean, if we can just knock the 0 off of our position, that would be lovely. Let's get to Q3 and see where we can put the Gazman. Let's follow Pierre Gasly's first Q3 lap with Haas. Well, second really, because we did a lap on wets. But first representative dry time. The rain has cleared up and a lot of drivers set their best times on Inters. Verstappen is on a set of softs at the moment, so let's keep an eye on the sector times. Verstappen is currently fastest in all sectors, although Gasly has just set the pace in Sector 1. Verstappen goes top ahead of Hamilton. Behrman goes second, Tsunoda goes second. Gasly, purple everywhere right now. Are we about to put the Haas on pole position with Pierre Gasly in the first race of the year? Let's hop on board with Gasly. No one else seems to be on a lap at the moment. Tsunoda, Ocon and Behrman all on soft tyres as well. Can we just gazump everybody and snatch pole position? The checkered flag is out with the last one across the line. Pole position by a 1/10 of a second for Pierre Gasly on debut. And France is going mad right now because Gasly is on top. His best mate Ocon is in 4th. So, and Alpine's in 3rd. So all good for Frenchness today. Hamilton on debut with Ferrari only P6. Sainz 10th for Mercedes. But that is how you start Season 3. Can we convert this into victory? It's 2 stops all round to start the season. The 1 stop can work. I've seen the AI do like a soft medium strategy, but you have to be so good on your tyres to make it work. But I'm going with the 2 stop because there is propensity for safety cars in Australia, and also I just want to be fast. So with Drugovich, the idea is to get him in early, undercut everybody. We've also underfueled him a little bit, as we have with Gasly, to just make him that bit faster. I think we're much quicker than 13th. Gasly on pole position. It's just about securing a podium at the very, very least with him. But can we get that P1 at the end of the race? We're going to go for it. Let's do a motor race and kick this season off in style. Right, Haas are on pole position as we wait for the 5 red lights. The lights are out. Season 3 is go. And it's a decent start by Gasly, immediately assuming the lead. Verstappen is always up the inside. That was a late lunge by the former teammate of Gasly. Drugovich has actually managed to sneak his way into 11th. Lovely stuff. Gasly holds on to the lead. Excellent start. Fabulous. And let's hopefully we can just drive away from Tsunoda and Ocon here. And Verstappen is already all over our gearbox. This could be a long afternoon for us, but we're going to enjoy it while we're in the lead with P1. Start of lap 4, and we have lost the lead eventually to Max Verstappen. He is clearing off at the moment with DRS. So what I might do is just get Gasly to deploy, See if we can keep up with the Red Bull. We need to pull a gap to this lot that's behind us. That's currently bottling up Hamilton. Gasly has got DRS, so he will be able to close the gap to Verstappen, which is good news. Verstappen on used soft tyres, so this should come back to us, and immediately we are back in the fight. What I'm going to do is get Pierre to just look after his tyres a little bit more and just play the long game, essentially. Drugovich is up to P10 and in this big traffic jam. So essentially, when he boxes, we should undercut the lot of them. So Gasly can just sit in P2 for now, and we will play the long game today. It's not about having track position right now. It's about being in the right position in the final stint to do the damage we need to do. And basically, stop Verstappen kicking off his season with a victory. We're going around the outside. We're just going to stay in position. That's fine. Immediate virtual safety car. Tsunoda and Ocon have crashed. There's Drugovich trying to find his way through it. All safety car deployed. And Verstappen is in the pit lane. Everybody's going in for a pit stop. We are a little bit stuck here. Drugovich, let's bring you in for the hard tyre. What? Verstappen's in. Hamilton has stayed out. Interestingly, he's on mediums. So I think everyone... Wow, Stroll has stayed out. Literally everybody else is going in the pit lane. Safety car is ending, and Pierre Gasly leads the way. Drugovich, through all that pit stop shuffling, is down in 17th. So probably a good thing that he's on hard tyres. We can go a little bit longer than everybody else. But Verstappen on those fresh mediums is going to be fast. We can take our pit stop a little bit deeper, and we can reap the rewards of this later on. Gasly gets the restart underway, and we're going to try and pull away from Lewis Hamilton. We've entered our pit window, and we had pulled a gap to Hamilton and Stroll, but Verstappen has managed to get by them and is now chasing us down. So he's probably about to overtake us with DRS. Here he comes, and he stays behind. So we're going to bring Gasly in shortly, but we're probably going to lose quite a bit of time here to Verstappen. We might need another safety car to get us back in the game. In comes Pierre Gasly then. Verstappen had just retaken the lead. They've been swapping it over the last few laps. We need a good stop here, please, everybody. 3.3 seconds, that will do. So we drop down to actually last. That's really not worked well, but we hopefully will now have better strategic options later in the race. The AI will have to definitely stop again and probably put on hards if they haven't got another set of mediums, or they'll have to stop twice. Gasly can make it on one stop, so we're either absolutely in the mud or we're in an absolutely fantastic position. Little update here on Felipe Drugovich. He's just taken 2 positions in one fell swoop. Beautiful double move there from Felipe. He moves up to 12th. That's Gasly in the background trying to get past Albon. Just stuck in a little bit of traffic at the moment. This probably isn't doing our chances of victory any good. Let's get him driving in clean air and see if we can find the way through. Here we go. Round the outside, please, Pierre. Yes, that'll do. That'll do very nicely indeed, but we need to skedaddle up the road and get some more DRS. Drugovich now passing signs. So the hard tyres coming into their own, which is good news, but we will be bringing him in pretty soon. Whether we can make it to the end on mediums, I don't know. And if Gasly gets anywhere near behind him, he will be asked to jump out of the way. Alright, there are some pit stops starting to happen, and Gasly has made some progress. I have been assessing the options in terms of undercutting some of this traffic ahead of him, so we could stop him in the next couple of laps and the softs will make it to the end. Verstappen is eking out his mediums as much as he can. So what's the gap between us? 21 seconds. We're not going to make that up in one undercut, but we can certainly put ourselves in position for a podium. We're currently trying to get past Carlos Sainz, Hamilton and Perez into the pit lane. Drugovich, we've got yellow flag. Who's gone off? Not sure, but it wasn't Drugovich. We've had a crash. Who is it? Charles Leclerc, and I think that's Jack Doohan. Oh, that's damage on the Ferrari. Doohan has just like sideswiped him. Drugovic, P15, driving clean air and pass Yuki Tsunoda, please. Thank you. And he's now up into 11th. Gasly, I think we pull the pin with his strategy and we undercut everybody that's in front of us up to Behrman, which would put us somewhere in the fight for the podium. Gasly's in. So Hamilton will go past. He's already stopped. Stroll has already stopped as well. 3.4 second stop. Not particularly quick. We've actually lost position to Tsunoda and Perez, but we come out ahead of Hajar and Sainz. Hopefully we can get ourselves back up to speed quickly enough to protect ourselves. We'll deploy the battery. We've got, well, Hamilton's going to be a stretch, so we're probably playing for P3. Drugovic is right in the hunt here as well. Tsunoda is just behind him there. And yeah, we could snatch a podium. Might be with Drugovic, who at one point was way out of this. But Verstappen is probably long gone, and potentially so is Alonso. The strategy hasn't worked out in our favour. The way the safety car timing was, and we were looking at the wrong car at the time. So if we were looking at Gasly, we might have been able to put him in at that moment. So yeah, let's see how this all shakes out. Drugovic under pressure from Tsunoda, who's on soft tyres. That's going to be difficult to defend, but defend it he does. Just over 10 laps to go. Drugovic is 6th. Perez has just caught him, but he's hanging in there with the DRS. Gasly, though, is closing in rapidly. So I think we might just be taking some decent points out of this. Yellow flags. No safety car, but Drugovic with a beautiful pass on Perez there to retake P5. So he's going very, very well. Drugovic's strategy has come back to him very nicely. We've got to fend off everybody else late on, and he will need to get out of the way of Gasly, but he's slowing Perez down, which gives Pierre the chance to catch the Mercedes, which from last year were our big rivals, and hopefully we can finish ahead of them to start this season off really nicely. Drugovic continuing to fight, Gasly continuing to close in on the pair of them. And that's Gasly going past his teammate. I'm going to ask Drugovic not to fight his teammate, just follow him through essentially. So Gasly up into P6 and on the tail of Sergio Perez, the new recruit at Mercedes, of course. And I think we might find our way past the Mexican here. No. Oh, Drugovic, don't. Felipe, stop it. Be a good boy. Oh, bro. Thank you. It's so silly because they go for the move and then they remember, oh, I mustn't fight my teammate. And they lose so much time. Right, Gasly, can you find your way past Perez this time, please? Yes, thank you. Right, deploy battery. And can we catch Stroll? We might be able to, actually. We've got much better tyres than the Aston Martin, so we could still catch him. Red Bull have managed to get themselves first and second at the moment. Remember Russell going out in Q1? Not made a blind bit of difference. But Gasly recovering his race pretty nicely. Drugovic, we can go on the attack now with you. Felipe's got himself into P6 around the outside here of Perez. Great move. That is really good stuff from Felipe. His race could have been absolutely wrecked by the safety car and where he popped out at the end of it in like 17th, but he's done a wonderful job in recovering his race. The confidence of that podium still surging through his veins. Gasly, 3 laps to go, could still close up on Stroll ahead. So let's go aggressive on the tyres and see if we can close down the 2.3 seconds to the Aston Martin for P4. We won't get on the podium today. The strategy, the safety car timing, really hurting our strategy. We could probably have been on the podium without a safety car or one a little bit later, but you know, that's motor racing essentially. And Drugovic fighting off Perez and Alonso, and he's doing it beautifully. Final lap, and we've got Felipe Drugovic in 7th. That's Fernando Alonso ahead of us. Let's deploy battery and see if we can steal P6 back off the Aston Martin as Verstappen wins the race. We are not close enough to the Spaniard to make the move. Gasly hasn't caught Stroll, sadly, so we're going to have to settle for 5th and 7th as Stroll comes across the line for P4. Gasly takes a decent P5 and Drugovic comes home in 7th. If you'd offered me that at the start of the race, like the start of the race weekend, I'd have taken it. But having started on pole position, it's disappointing not to have a podium. But, still good points were gained. And we know we've got a fast car. So not every race is going to be sort of skewed by a weird timing of a safety car. So there's definitely confidence to be taken from this. So there's your result. Bad day for Mercedes, 8th and 10th. We are definitely in the mix with Aston Martin, and Ferrari only scored with Lewis Hamilton. So that's essentially the Drivers' Championship. Let's skip over that. The Constructors' Championship, we immediately start in P3. We assert ourselves as at least the third fastest car, possibly the second fastest car, if we can get it all together. So I think this season is going to be really interesting. If we can pick off a couple of early victories, we could challenge Red Bull, but they've got a stellar lineup. Let's be honest, it's going to be very tricky to take them down. But let me know how you thought we did for a season opener, and let me know how much you're looking forward to the rest of this season. A decent result to get Season 3 underway then. Leave a nice big thumbs up on the video for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content coming very, very soon. And I'll see you in the next round in Bahrain. You're the best fans. Bye for now.